I wanted to show people this. I purchased this at a local car show yesterday, and I was staring at it and I was thinking, what the hell is that, or what the hell is it off, to be more of a point. It's a differential which is mounted on an elliptic leaf spring. Now, it's interesting. It's old, obviously, old technology, but still usable. The differential would have a prop shaft mounted on it here, spinning here from the gearbox, and it's got this nice little coupling for mounting a universal joint or whatever you want onto, and each side of the differential, it's got two more of these nice little mounting plates. So you can see there, as you would expect on a diff, if I rotate this here, it rotates the other points, the other 2 points, and should do the same here. If there's a slight bit of restriction, for instance, if I apply the brakes on this side and I drive it there from the prop shaft, you can see all transmission is sent over to this side. Yeah, and if I apply a braking action on this side, then that side stops and all power is sent to this side. If I rock it back, if I spin it round, that will be easier. Let's see if I've got that in view. Come on, camera, stop playing up. Yeah, so if I spin that there and I hold that, then the one that's closest to the camera is now rotating. Yeah, that's me spinning the prop shaft point. And if I hold the one over there and I spin the axle point, then this one here spins. So basically, why did I buy this? Well, you can get this sort of a setup on Jaguars. On a Jaguar car, or certain models, they had a disc brake mounted on each side of the differential, and they're quite a usable differential in kit car circles and sports cars and so on, custom work, because well, it basically enables you to have axles of any length protruding out from the differential. You can make custom axles, drive shafts and so on, which will bolt to these. So it's quite a usable thing. So you can make independent suspension arms which come off from these differentials. At the moment this is upside down, so the spring would normally be sat above the differential, because here is the drain lug, so the drain lug would obviously be underneath. Now, for me, this lends itself quite good to making things like scaled tanks, because if you're building a scaled tank, the ideal thing is to have a differential and disc brakes mounted each side. Then you can just take a drive shaft off without any suspension, and take that off to a sprocket to drive tracks. So that's perfectly easy to do. You can just take a drive shaft off after you've got a disc brake mounted here, so you can mount a disc brake on these 4 bolts here, and then you can bolt a drive shaft straight on the other side of the disc brake, using these bolts to both hold the disc brake and the drive shaft on. Then your drive shaft can run off at any length and hook up to a sprocket through a bearing setup over on the left and on the right. So it's a very useful item, this. As to what the ratio is, I'm not sure, but I'm not over worried about that, because you can alter all that using the gearbox, which is connected to the input of the diff, and you can vary the size of the sprockets which your tracks are mounted onto. So I just wanted to show that. Now this comes off, as I may have said, off a Triumph Vitess. So a number of Triumph cars of the 60s and probably 70s may have had this setup, so it could be worth looking into if you're in the market for a differential of this type. You can see you can unbolt it here and take the spring off, so that means that this differential is very easy to bolt down onto any sort of framework, because it's already got mounting holes in the casting. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. It's also got mounting points on the back. Very useful.